going on YouTube? This is me, Andrew Tucker, and I am here with some gaming news. Um, I am hearing that the Scorpio will be able to do what the other consoles or older consoles wasn't able to do. Yes, we all know that the Xbox One Scorpio, which will be coming out the end of this year. Right now, is known as the more powerful console. It's the most powerful console of today. Yes, it's not out yet, but thanks to Digital Foundry, that it is the most powerful console. The console with the most power. I'm here with some gaming news. Xbox Scorpio could eliminate console generations. Oh my god. And they had a nerve to say, and that's a good thing. Wow. But anyways, let's get into this. Wow. Sony's PlayStation 4 Pro, which launched last November, and Microsoft's upcoming Project Scorpio represents the first significant hardware upgrades to come in the middle of a traditional console generation. Both systems are built for 4K televisions. Even though the majority of customers don't yet own one, the companies have had a tough time convincing consumers of the merits of these devices, but in an interview with Gamma Sutra, Xbox head Phil Spencer said that Scorpio isn't just more powerful Xbox One. Once again, Xbox Scorpio isn't just a more powerful Xbox One. It represents an overhaul of the philosophy behind Microsoft Games business. Microsoft pitch is that, yes, Scorpio will be the most powerful gaming console ever, making it the best place to play Xbox One and multi-platform titles for people who don't own a powerful gaming computer but care about graphics and performance. The company also says that because it's building Scorpio as an expansion of the Xbox platform rather than a typical new console. So basically, people, what y'all need to understand is that, especially for the Sony fans, you guys need to understand that this is not a next generation console. Once again, this is not a next generation console. This console is still in the same generation as a Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox One S, PlayStation 4 Slim, and the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's in the same generation as those consoles. Okay, so understand that, know that. It's not the next gen console. So no, it is not, once again, an Xbox 2 or the next generation console. It's not a new generation console. It's not the next generation console. So I'm sorry guys if you were, oh wow, it's a powerful console, so it has to be the next generation console. It has to be because it is powerful and because of the specs and because what's in that thing. Nope. Sorry to inform you that it's still in the same generation as the consoles we now own as of today. But anyways, let me continue. Xbox One and multi-platform titles for people who don't own a powerful gaming computer but care about graphics and performance. The company also says that because it's building Scorpio as an expansion, as an expansion of the Xbox platform rather than a typical new console, Scorpio will enable games to live longer. So, wow, that's good news, man. That's good news. But shall we continue? Let's continue. Until now, games have generally been locked to the console on which they were released. They might run slightly better on a future device that supports them via backwards compatibility. But even a feature like that usually goes back just one console generation. Usually goes back just one console generation. A new system launch generally means what does it mean? A new system's launch generally means that the old ones, games, controllers, and everything else are now obsolete. There's no reason that consumers or game makers have to forget about old old games just because a new platform has arrived, except for the fact that that's just the way things have always been done in the console world. Customers put up with that because a new console promises a major increase in power and other capabilities. For some of the guys saying that power is not everything, people look for power. That was the reason why a lot of people chose the PlayStation 4 over the Xbox One, because of power. Not just because it was the cheaper console, it was because it was a little bit more powerful. So it gave Sony the lead. And some people can make an argument and say, oh well, it had more exclusive, it's because it had more games, whatever. But anyways, customers put up with that because a new console promises a major increase in power and other capabilities. But with Scorpio, Microsoft is looking to deliver that while maintaining compatibility with the past. Of course, the PS4 Pro did this to an extent last fall, but Microsoft is hoping that the Scorpio's significant power advantage will eliminate the benefit of Sony's 1 year head start. Wow. We'll say they. So let's just read this again. But Microsoft is hoping that the Scorpio's significant power advantage will eliminate the benefit of Sony's 1 year head start. Let us continue. Is it difficult to convey the benefits of a mid-cycle hardware upgrade, especially when console gamers aren't accustomed to the idea of buying a new box so soon after an existing one debuted. But while this argument is more complicated and nuanced, then console games will look and run the best on this platform. It's perhaps the more important one. There are some clear benefits of the traditional console philosophy. Spencer told Gama Sutra, "I can tailor my games specifically to the hardware platform that I am building towards." But it means you end up with this kind of landlocked content that it's hard to go play. Let's continue. Instead, the arrival of Scorpio will bring the Xbox platform closer than ever to the PC ecosystem. These days, PC gamers can buy tons of decades old games from services like Steam and GOG. And many of those titles can function on modern computers without too much tweaking. The Xbox One can play a growing library of Xbox 360 games thanks to a not insignificant engineering effort on Microsoft's part. Meanwhile, Sony and Nintendo are happy to let you pay for old games again and again. PlayStation 2 Classics, PlayStation Now, Virtual Console. Wow. I just want to read this again because this was kind of like a low blow. Like a low blow. This really was a low blow. So I'm going to start right here. Instead, the arrival of Scorpio will bring the Xbox platform closer than ever to the PC ecosystem. These days, PC gamers can buy tons of decades old games from services like Steam and GOG. And many of those titles can function on modern computers without too much tweaking. The Xbox One can play a growing library of Xbox 360 games thanks to a not insignificant engineering effort on Microsoft's part. Meanwhile, Sony and Nintendo are happy to let you pay for old games again and again. PlayStation 2 Classics, PlayStation Now, Virtual Console. My thing is this: playing old games for free or having to pay for old games. I'd rather go with playing old games for free. Don't you think? Oh man. Anyways, let's continue. Backwards compatibility works for both game makers and consumers. The PC platform is a continuum that evolves over time, but that doesn't preclude publishers from releasing remasters of old games, and customers who buy a game once can feel safe in the knowledge that they'll still be able to play it years down the line, regardless of whether they have the original console lying around and still hooked up. This could also make people more comfortable with going digital. They might not be able to trade in old games, but at least they'll still be able to play them. Let's continue, shall we? This also ties into Microsoft's efforts to blur the lines between Xbox and Windows. Initiatives like Xbox Play Anywhere are another way to free customers from the constraints of consoles, offering an experience that scales and syncs across Xbox One and PC. The Nintendo Switch tackles this problem from a different angle. The games are the same in your hands and on a TV, but Nintendo has a terrible track record when it comes to managing content ownership across multiple platforms and devices. Microsoft already has that part figured out. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wild, wild, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, people, the thing is this. The thing is this. And if you guys want to know where I'm reading this from, it's Polygon, and you should be able to find it. It's on the Polygon website, and this Xbox Scorpio could eliminate console generations, and that's a good thing. This is my thing. As far as Xbox Scorpio, the thing is this: it's gonna be the most. It's gonna be the most powerful, the more powerful console. And it's really nothing. It's really nothing that anyone can do about it. I mean, and I'm just directing this to the haters, to the people who believe that the Xbox Scorpio is going to flop. The thing is, how is it going to flop? And it's allowing you to access old games from 360 and Xbox One. Okay? And the thing is that people still own a Xbox 360. People will continue to own an Xbox One when the Scorpio becomes available. That's the truth. And the thing is, you will still be able to play your 360 games, your Xbox One games. And the thing is that some of those games will even run even smoother, even a little, just a little. I could say resolution would be a little better on some of the games that happen to be at a lower resolution than 1080p. And some games were 1080p on the Xbox One, and then you had games 720p on the Xbox 360. Games will be able to run a lot more smoother on the Xbox One Scorpio, so that's the good thing. And then you will have games that will be available on the Xbox Scorpio, on the Xbox One Scorpio, that will be at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, and that's a good thing. So, and then you will be able to do some of the things you will be able to do on a Scorpio, which is going to be a lot of things that you can do on the Scorpio that you won't be able to do on the PS4 Pro. So, and you got to understand and remember that people always want better. games is a factor. It's always having new games, more exclusives, new games or whatever. That's always a good thing. But people main focus will will always be power. Games coming along with that powerful console, games that people appreciate, which will make the console will make the console uh, even better for people because they're having a more powerful console and being able to run their games a lot more smoother than they were, and they weren't able to run the games the same way on the Xbox One. Now they would be able to run those games a lot smoother on the Xbox One Scorpio. Um, so people got to understand that, you know, this is fin to be a great year. 2018 is going to be a great year for the Xbox brand. This is your boy Andrew Tucker, and this was some gaming news for you, and I am out.